Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to some more F1 22 in another part of our My Team career mode with Brawn GP. Today we've got the French Grand Prix. It's going to be an exciting one. I really do enjoy driving the French circuit, and we always have good pace around there, so looking forward to that. First of all, we need to sign up our teammate for the rest of the season. Nico Hülkenberg had a brilliant performance last time out in Austria, coming from near the back of the grid all the way up to second place. So I think he has earned himself a chance for the second half of the season. So let's go ahead and renegotiate with him, and hopefully he will accept our contract offer. And he does. So we've got Nico Hülkenberg until the end of the season, which I think is a really important asset for us. Let's go ahead and put in our work here. That one looks good. Let's do that one. And then we'll do an external train and a promotional film, and that looks good. Of course, we had a mechanical failure in the last episode. It was a very short episode. I do apologise for that, but yeah, we had an engine failure in Austria. We looked like we could come back and potentially even win that Grand Prix, but it didn't happen. And yeah, I've basically decided, you know, all of our engines are pretty well worn, and I am confident of our pace in France, so I am going to go ahead and go for a completely fresh power unit and start from the back of the grid. It's going to be a last to first challenge. It's going to be an awesome race, I really do believe that. But we are going to start with a completely fresh engine and take the grid penalty now, because we are going to have to do it later in the season. We want a good engine in place for Belgium and Italy at the very least, so that's sort of my idea of where we're looking at with that. We have got 1500 resource points to spend, so let's go ahead and have a look at what we could potentially spend. I mean, the morale will be going up almost straight away, so why don't we go ahead and do that. Okay. Is that happening? I think it has. So if we go in now, yeah, that hasn't come down at all for some reason. None of them have. Hang on a second. Let's increase there. There we go, we'll do that again. Is that going to help? No. Maybe it doesn't give you discounts then. Apologies about the Elgato. It is particularly bad today. For some reason. There's one that's done. Yeah, I suppose we'll have to go for that then, won't we? Let's go for that. Okay, cool. Right, well, we're not going to be taking part in qualifying this time, so it is going to be straight into the race.
We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week.
Let's see if we can get this.
The entire development package for this weekend has failed. Any redevelopments will need to be ordered from the R&D screen.
We can get that done. Okay. But yeah, we're going to be straight into the Grand Prix, so I look forward to seeing you for that. Let's get into it.
Hello and welcome from the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. Now, it's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. So let's hope we see more of those in the race today. The Circuit Paul Ricard then, a 3.6 mile track, 25 miles east of Marseille. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, with the main overtaking chance expected to be going into turn 8. Top speeds today should be around 205 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Carlos Sainz and Russell, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen, Ocon, Gasly, Sebastian Vettel and Bottas, Albon, Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Latifi and the captain. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Why don't we discuss McLaren? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Well, here we are down on track then, ready for our last two question mark challenge. I do genuinely believe we could win this Grand Prix. We're going to go for the one-stop strategy, starting on the mediums and then going on to the hards, although I might actually switch that around. We may well go for the hards first of all, and then the mediums. So, yeah, remove that stint. And then the mediums towards the end of the race. Just like we did in Canada. You know, I think that will protect us against safety cars, that sort of thing, a little bit better. And we could extend the stint a little bit more and go to soft tyres towards the end if we feel like that is a possibility. We could do that anyway. We've got an abundance of soft tyres and see how far into the race we could potentially go with that. But I think hards and then mediums is going to be the optimal strategy. So that's what we're going to go for. Let's make sure we've got plenty of fuel in the car so that we can push as hard as we like. And without further ado, let's get into it and let's have a look at the different strategies.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
So you can see Perez, Norris, Magnussen, Ocon, all on the hard tyres. So we're going to be battling with them, really, in terms of our strategy.
As the
I
cars
imagine
come
that'll
back
be
towards the
the
grid
top
to line up
six
for the start of the
after
race,
the first
each
round of
driver
pit
will be
stops.
wanting to get the best start they possibly can, and they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
So here we go then, lining up on the grid for our first race from the back this season. Really, we've not had that problem too much. You know, our qualifying form has been fairly solid. So interesting to come all the way from the back with our brand new engine in the car. And here we go. We are ready for the lights here in France. It's lights out. Away we go here in France then. Decent start off the grid, but certainly not our absolute best reaction to the lights. And yeah, just trying to stay out of the way of Zhou Guanyu there. Managed to cut right back in. And you can see how much more mechanical grip we have in this car compared to some of these other peasants at the back. Ooh, nearly went into the back of Latifi there as we thread it round the outside. It's about trying to be opportunistic, but making sure that we get through nice and cleanly in these opening laps. We are back up to 92 difficulty, by the way. I know a few people have been asking about that recently. We are back up to where we were, so hopefully the issue with the AI is definitely fixed and we can get back to enjoying the challenge of these Grand Prix on the correct difficulty level. And there we go, we fly around that corner there. There are 27 laps here, so although there is plenty of time, you know, we don't want to spend 10 laps behind Tsunoda, for instance, so it is important that we are aggressive,
All right, let's
but are
focus
careful
now for
with
the
that
rest of the
aggression.
race.
So here we go. Using a bit of ERS, trying to make something happen here. It's not going to quite make it stick, so only the 2 places gained on lap 1. We've got a chance on Tsunoda here, around the outside. And we make it stick. That's a good move.
Good job, nice overtake.
But again, we need to make, on average, a place a lap really to get right back up there. So DRS, that's certainly going to help. Becomes active now this lap.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
We've got DRS open, ERS enabled with Piastri. But no way through. First warning of the day. Well, chance on Piastri now, round the outside like we did to Yuki Tsunoda, but he closed the door very nicely indeed. So this is what I mean. We can't get stuck in this midfield. We gotta be aggressive and try and get past nice and quickly, because otherwise we're gonna be just stuck in a DRS train.
We're trailing our teammate by 6.8 seconds.
So we're only 19th place at the moment. Yeah, this has got to be the chance now. We got an excellent run on Piastri. I'm going to go to the outside so that we can swing round on the usual racing line, and that's us nicely through. Had to run it a little bit wide there though.
Okay, this is Mark. I need you to stop cutting the corners. If you keep it up, the stewards are going to give you a penalty. Yellow flag.
Well, some yellow flags, and that's Alex Albon. He is out of this Grand Prix. Now, is there going to be a safety car? So that'll be interesting. I think it is early enough in the Grand Prix that nobody would actually come into the pits, so it doesn't look like there is going to be a safety car, which probably helps us out. But at least that's another place gained. Sort of stops the hurry of getting past Mick Schumacher as we just outbrake ourselves a little there. It just shows how good the car is, that we were able to slow it and not lose too much time really.
It looks like we might have an issue.
Oh,
Hang in there.
no.
We're attempting to manage it.
They're saying we have an issue in that. I mean, this is a brand new engine. That would be an absolute disaster. Considering everything is new on this. And we're only 5 laps into this race. It would be an absolute disaster.
Okay,
Oh, we are out.
severe engine issue. Find a safe space to
It's the
retire and
turbo
return to the pits.
Charger, and we are
Again,
out.
Find somewhere safe to stop. We need you to retire.
And 2 races in a row, we have had an engine blowout. And that is an absolute disaster. That was meant to be a last to first challenge. Oh, my word. Well, we are out of the French Grand Prix. And that was not a part of the script.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Well, it wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, but if I had to pick someone, it's got to be Sergio Perez. Fantastic driving.
Let's move on to the constructors. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today, as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there you go. We finish in last place through a DNF today. Nico Hulkenberg only finished 8th in the Grand Prix. Not fantastic for him, it has to be said. We've just rewarded him with a contract for the second half of the season, and he's not really repaid it there. He's still top 10 in the standings, of course, and we've moved down to 7th ourselves, and down to 5th in the constructors. Not fantastic. I think at the very least we should be finishing 4th this season. You know, we have got a car that's capable of winning Grand Prix. We've shown that this season. But reliability is getting the better of us at the moment. Lando Norris managed to finish 4th, which gives him a 26-point lead over Sergio Perez and 37 points over Max Verstappen, but they are coming back at him hard. He did get the fastest lap of the race today, though, so it's showing Lando Norris is no mug. He's not going to lie down in this fight, but unfortunately, we have had to take a lie down today. Yeah, I'm absolutely gutted. 2 races in a row, and especially when you've taken a brand new, fresh engine, it's a massive disappointment to say the least. Now, obviously, the next Grand Prix is in Great Britain. It's not in Great Britain. We've done the British Grand Prix. It is the Hungarian Grand Prix.
We should start considering where we can look to invest the profit we're making back into the team.
And I think that's going to be another last to first, really. I think we need to get another fresh engine going. I look at the turbochargers. They're pretty worn. So maybe we take another fresh engine and we have another go. But, yeah. But in Hungary, that's going to be almost impossible. But then, I mean, if we look ahead, we've got Belgium. Maybe we could do it at Belgium. We do tend to have very, very strong performance in Belgium. I think we finished 2nd there last year, did we? 3rd it was. So, you know, in theory, Belgium could be the place to do it. And, you know, hope that we get a positive result next time out in the Hungarian Grand Prix. But, yeah, I'm incredibly sorry. We've got nothing else for you this episode. A nice short one. Unfortunate, but it's the way it goes, and that's the ups and downs of an F1 22 career mode. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.